they can't come after you if there's a regime change.
Yeah, but then it's not 100%. How do you know there's going to be a regime change? Hamas still there.
I don't, bro, but I hope so. All I can do is hope.
I really hope so, 100%. Like it's my only wish in life right now. But you never know.
Thank you, Manny. Let me say that.
Hey, can I ask Manny a quick question? All right, so Manny, do you think it's possible for the people to rise up and make a regime change themselves, or that's pretty hopeless?
Not right now. People are scared. They're shocked. They're running for their lives. They're sort of in a state of survival. But maybe later, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, when things quiet down and they realize, holy shit, there's no like IRGC is not on the ground. Their centers are all blown up, and there's no one taking care of what's happening on the ground. So maybe at that point, people will rise up, but not now.
Thank you, Manny. Let me say good morning to Hader. Hader, how you doing? Hader. Okay. I'm gonna go to side.
He's just part of the regime.
Okay. Let me say good morning to Tarun. Tarun, how you doing? Taryn.
Hello. I'm doing pretty good.
How do you say your name?
Tarun.
Tarun. My apologies for butchering it. Do you want to chime in on the conversation? Tarun, did you want to speak? That you came to the stage? Or
no, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Tarun. All right, we're gonna go popcorn style, guys. Man, that dude Persian. I would hate to piss that dude off and be on the other side. That dude has some energy. Oof. All right, let me do a quick reset. Israel versus the IRGC. Pseudo and anti-intellectuals. Welcome. I'm going to change that out. That's fine. Hakima, good morning. Larry, good morning. Madeline, good morning. Sabina, I see you, Sabina. Bishop, good morning. Devin, how you doing? Michaela. Guys with the pink tickets, please cash those in. Please us, Hannah, cash in your tickets. I'm going to say something that's polarizing. You may not like it. You may not cash in your pink tickets. But Healthy Debates is a pro-Israel, pro-Persian room. Always has been, always will be. But everybody's allowed on stage to spew whatever you guys spew. Howard, good morning, Howard.
Oh, hey, Jay. Sorry, I've been having some technical difficulties this morning. As usual, you're hosting an unbelievable, stimulating room. First thing I just want to add, I mean, obviously, war is tragic. But as you pointed out, Jay, this didn't just start with, hey, let's bomb Iran because they're building a nuclear weapon. It goes way back to Iran sponsoring assassinations, Iran sponsoring Hezbollah, Iran sponsoring Hamas. And, if you think about it, and I'm just putting this in context for those people in the States, I mean, imagine if we just kept getting missiles shot over from either Canada or Mexico or both, and we knew the state that was sponsoring it. Would we just passively at some point just say, oh, that's okay, or that's just part of daily life? This is something that, there's no half pregnant. What Israel's done, in my opinion, there's no turning back. And I think they will do what they can to force regime change. And the other side of it, from a political standpoint, I also believe the current president, unfortunately for him, he's kind of boxed into a corner. One could argue that perhaps he was led down this path by Netanyahu and others, but he's got like too many mouths to feed or people to placate, whether it's parts of MAGA, whether it's his own, political connections, whether it's Vladimir Putin, whoever you want to say. And I just think that this is a tipping point for him where essentially for the second term, the honeymoon period's over. And, I just don't know ultimately what the final outcome's going to be, but it could parallel ultimately what Nixon had to contend with Vietnam. And I'll land my skylab there. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you, Howard. Tarun, what did he say that's hateful? I'm curious. You wrote in the chat that he's spreading hate. What is that? What exactly did he say that was hateful? Tarun? Taryn, whatever your name is? Okay, you stay on mute. Sano, I like it. You want to say something, Tarun?
Tarun? Yeah. people shouldn't wish someone else's death because of their religion or what they believe in. And I believe today the regime is probably doing something like that. That's what I wanted to say. Okay.
Okay, thanks for that stimulating comment. Sano, how you doing, Sano?
Hello. I just wanted to add that, of course.
By the way, I like your PTR.
Thank you. I'm Iranian, and but I live in Europe. We hold demonstrations regularly. We've been doing that, especially now. We have held two so far since the current conflict started. And generally, Iranian people, the majority of us, Iranian diaspora, they are pro-Israel and pro-Bibi. We have a song for Bibi. Ahmed Fahd has sung a song for Bibi promoting. He basically sang it, I think, 3 years ago. And he is calling for Bibi hitting Khamenei. And that is, it is interesting that now it is the reality, something which was in our dream. And I just wanted to say, well, there are some people who say America first, MAGA, but there is also fake MAGA, which are actually IRGC. They opened the room yesterday, and none of them had an American accent. I mean, their English accent was even worse than me, but they claimed to be Americans living in America and pro-America first, and they were promoting anti-Israel propaganda, conspiracy theories, whatnot, and saying, I don't want to die for Israel, stuff like that. Fake MAGA serving Khamenei, serving IRGC. I just wanted to say, from the standpoint of America first, America will be safer with regime change in Iran. Regime change in Iran makes America safe, makes Europe safe. Just look at the tweet of Larijani. These Larijanis are a clan. All of them have top posts in Iranian regime, and they are not even born in Iran. They were born in Iraq. They are Iraqis posing as the Iranians. One of them published a tweet recently, openly, audaciously, threatening Rafael Grossi to assassination. He openly says that we will deal with you, Grossi, after this conflict is over. So when they openly threaten to assassination Rafael Grossi, the UN Nuclear Watch, head of Nuclear Watch in the UN, they threatened him to assassination, and probably they did assassinate his predecessor with some radioactive drug, because Mr. Yukio Amano, suddenly he got cancer out of the blue. So maybe they assassinated him with some Russian radioactive drugs. That is, I don't know, a guess. So that kind of regime, Europe will be safer, America will be safer if that regime is toppled, and for a safer America, regime change in Iran is essential.
Well,
and
Sano,
now we are historically very close to that. We should not leave the job unfinished. Finish
Sano,
the job.
thank you. I agree. Finish the job. If there's any pro-Iranian government people in the room, you're welcome to the stage. I'd love to hear what you have to say. But I don't think you have the balls to come up. But it's amazing to me how we know that this government right now, the IRGC, supports Hezbollah, Hamas, right, the Houthis. So it's not just about freeing the Persian people, which I hope happens, but it's also about giving some peace to that region that historically has no peace. It has to stop. Everybody's heard me say for years now, we got to have a regime change in that country for there to be even a chance of peace in that region, right? October 7th wasn't just a fluke. October 7th was because Israel was going to get recognized by Saudi Arabia. And they were like, no, we're not having that. But let me go to Sabina, and then we're gonna go popcorn style. Sabina, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hader, I got you, Hader. Get Sabina.
Hi, good morning. Yeah, I wanted to make comments on the Trump, the pressure under Trump with the America First people. I don't know, everyone, have you seen the interview with Ted Cruz and, sorry, what's his name? Tucker
Carlson, yes.
Yes, yeah. So there's a whole group of people within MAGA who believe America first, and what I think is so confusing is that they make it seem as if America's like Sweden that had like that has been neutral in all the conflicts in the Middle East. It's been in all the conflicts and is still in. And when not Tucker Carlson, Ted Cruz actually said we. Someone got mad at him and like, oh, why are you saying we? Because he said we in terms of Israel and America together, right? And I don't understand what the American First people are trying to do, try to unwind, because Americans involved in the Middle East, it always has been. So to me, I just think it's a bit bizarre that you have this group of people and now they're attacking Tulsi because Tulsi said that she's seen intel. And by the way, people change their mind, right? Based off evidence. That's what rational people do. So she's seen evidence that there are, development of nuclear weapons and that they can be maybe a few weeks away, right? And so she said, for that reason, I support America and, getting involved now. And now all those people are now having a backlash. Like, this is not our war. No, it is your war because you played a role in all of these issues. There's a lot of Iranians who even blame America for putting Khomeini in power, right, during Carter's time. So that's all I wanted to share. I just don't think that the America First thing makes any sense. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabina. I appreciate you. So I'm going to go to Hater. Hater, I called on you 5 times already. You there?
No, I was busy. Sorry about that, man.
Hold on. Butters, you can go after Hater, then we're going to go to Cogito. Yeah, hey.
Yeah, look. This whole idea of regime change is really suicidal. Okay, I don't think regime change is going to work in Iran. It hasn't worked in Libya. It hasn't worked in Afghanistan. It hasn't worked in Iraq. So we already know the result of what regime change is. Now, people in the audience don't know this. Maybe some of them know, but Iran is not only Persian, right? Persian is about 60%, about 55 to 60%. You have Kurds, you have Azeris, you have Arabs, you have Balojis, you have all these other groups, right? That is beyond Shia and Sunni division in Iran. Right now, if you look at the leadership, it's kind of mixed up. So the Supreme leader is actually
Hater. Let me ask you a question. It's a very, very simple question, right?
Yes.
Do you consider this regime in power right now as a murderous regime?
So I'm from the global south. So I'm gonna take the position of the Russian and Chinese government. That's the position I'm going to take. And that position is we do not want to crumble this regime and create the refugee and suffering and more suffering more than this region deserves, right? The Middle East is already in it's a cake basket. It's a cake basket, right? It's basket cake, whatever.
Bro, listen, man. Bro, I'm calling cap on everything you're saying. This government's telling me, bro, let me finish, bro. You don't have to give me up. We can have the dialogue. But not only is this government murderous to its own people, they are sponsoring terrorism throughout that region. So when you say I take the side of Russia and China, man, you got to take those blinders off. This regime right here is the main problem in that region. And that's a fact. But please, Langer.
No. So what is the alternative? You see, we have to look into the alternative, right? The alternative is a lot worse than what we have right now. Okay, already Viktor Orban, the Hungarian president, already talked to Trump, and he said, you know what? I do not want refugees in my country, dude. The Europeans are now concerned about refugees, right? So they already had enough refugees from Iraq, from Libya, from Syria in the last 15, 20 years. They don't want to deal with that, right? So what the argument, especially the Russian government is making, and to some extent the many countries in the global south, right?
Let me ask you a question respectfully.
Yeah.
Do you hear what you're saying? You support Russia, a terrorist supporter. You support China. You support this IRGC. Do you hear what you're saying?
I don't support Iran. No, I don't support Iran. I think what I'm telling you is the regime is bad, which we already know is bad. But what is the alternative, man? The alternative is going to be civil war, chaos, and refugee migration. Just going to be death and destruction. Let me
ask you. Okay, and I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to tell you why I disagree with you. And it's just my opinion, right? I'm not a geopolitical expert. I'm not one of those pseudo intellectuals. But what I know of Persian people, let me tell you something. Once this regime is topped, they're probably going to be some of the most united people on this planet because they've been through this shit for 46 years. They're not going to want chaos and civil war. They're not going to flee their country. They're going to rebuild it into the power that it should be. So everything you're saying, I disagree with you wholeheartedly. So hold on, guys. Everybody, hold on. Hater, hold on a second, because I got so many speakers on stage. So I told Butters she can, Marsha, I got you, Marsha. I told Butters she can go next. I'm gonna go Butters, Marsha, Sarah, and I'll come back around to everybody else. Butters, good morning.
Good morning. I've been listening for a while doing household things. I like the way that you control your stage. Even if there's some bias, you still let people rock and talk. So this is a good segue from what Haydar just was saying. So my question is to any Zionists that are listening, not Jews, Zionists. I'm purposely separating this question, or those that consider themselves Zionists. What has gone on in Syria, that is a regime change that you see, is now led by Al Qaeda. So at one point, I thought Al Qaeda was America's not friend. Now, seems like through proxies, we're working with Al Qaeda and letting certain things happen. I saw Benjamin Netanyahu go and show a map of what was looking like a greater Israel project. And so I want to know, is that the end game for Iran? If there's a regime change, you want to include them in the greater Israel project as a Zionist? And are we supposed to also work with more Al Qaeda?
Well, let me just say this. Thank you for your compliment on how I run my room. Please cash in your pink ticket. I'm going to I'll let Mickey. Mickey, do you want to answer her question?
Is that person a Zionist?
100% he's a Zionist.
Okay, great.
Mickey, do you want to answer the question?
To be honest, JB, I'm not going to entertain ridiculous.
Okay, any other Zionists want to answer?
Is it ridiculous? Why is it ridiculous? Let's find out.
Butters, I got somebody that wants to respond. Marsha, go ahead, Marsha.
Yeah, I can answer her and also Haydar, not as a Zionist, but as a Persian. So what Haydar has said was exactly the propaganda of IRGC. They are telling us for 46 years that if there is a regime change in Iran, then there will be chaos. And they have been telling us during the past years that look at Libya, look at Syria, look at Iraq, this will be the future of you. But that's not the case. But because Iran is no Syria, Iran is no Libyan, we are a United Nation. And culturally, we are different from the Arab countries and from Libya, from Iraq, and from Syria. So this thing will never happen in Iran. And the other thing, the fact that you say that I don't support regime change, what do you say to my question? One of the last times that Iranian people came to streets peacefully begging for their freedom, asking for their freedom, the regime and IRGC killed 1,500 of them in 2 days. And according to some reports, up to 3,000 of the people in the streets. Is it not a chaos? What do you call this?
Who is she talking to? Because I asked the question and I thought there was supposed to be somebody who's a Zionist.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me ask you a question before I'll answer your question. But let me ask you this. Sarah, I got you. What is your definition of a Zionist, Butters? What do you think a Zionist is?
Well, my own president, my past president, said you don't have to be Jewish to be one. And then he explained perfectly what exactly that is. And everyone in America has that definition through Biden, which means that they are proud Zionists that are not Jewish. So I was not speaking to anyone necessarily because of their religion. And I think we all here
So a Zionist is somebody supports Israel's right to exist. That's exactly the definition
That's
of
not the only portion of it.
Okay, what's the other portion? Then tell me, teach me.
The other portions of being a Zionist has to do with relating biblical things.
That's not true.
How are you going to tell me they do relate biblical things to it? What do you mean? You don't have to be religious to know this.
Okay.
But they pull from biblical things to expose why they would need to be expansive in that region. It's their so-called holy
Wait. So let me ask you this. So basically, Israel went into Gaza because it was about land.
I'm not talking about Gazalev.
Okay.
I'm talking about the Greater Israel Project. So that's what I'd like to,
So
make
what
sure
if
that
your
everybody.
definition isn't correct? What if your
see the same
definition isn't
thing?
correct?
It can be whatever you want it to be. It can be whatever you want it to be. I don't have a problem with talking about the Greater Israel Project, which is what I came to ask about. Thank you.
Butters. When you say it could be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, because I don't want to argue with him, love.
Okay, you don't have to love. You don't have to argue with him. But here's the thing: when you say something like that, it says to me that no matter what definition he gives, you're not going to accept it anyway.
I never argued with anybody's definition. They're asking me about mine. I told you what I thought, and now that we're on the same page with whatever it may be to everybody, that Greater Israel Project that BB went there with the map and showed, now that there'll be a regime change in the next place that we've moved on to, because our peoples in America sat around and talked about regime change in different. Let me finish, love. Let me finish, love. Let me finish, love. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him, and he went there with the map. No, you're wasting your time with your mic open. I'm not talking to you, love. Let me talk to who I'm speaking to. They're listening. You don't have to. Close your ears.
You're lying.
So when he went there with the map, he basically showed what he would like to do. And if there's going to be regime change in Iran, is that going to, my question was, what's next is what Haydar was asking. So what I'm saying is that going to be a part of the game plan to put out Haydar?
Sarah, I got you, Sarah. Hold on a second, buddy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Put a link in the chat with this Greater Israel Project.
Sure.
I also want to go to Sarah, who I'm sure she's going to push back. Hello, Sarah. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, JB. I actually specifically came on the stage to talk about the part. I don't know people who say if you topple the regime in Iran, there's going to be another Syria, Iraq, Libya. I don't know if they're uneducated or they just because I've seen some educated people, fall for that propaganda. So I don't know what is the why people repeating that. So I actually had to go look the history of Sharia law. I'm not kidding you, because I have no idea what's going on in Libya. Like, I don't care about every country in the world. I have to go look and see what is the common and differences between Iran and these countries and Sharia law and how long Islam has been, part of their government. So Syria, Libya, Iraq, they've had Sharia law since the 7th century. That's over 1,500 years, people. 1,500 years. Of course, it's going to be difficult to remove Islam from the politics in those countries. Iran, on the other hand, they've only had Sharia law, Islam in the government combined in the last 46 years. Iran has a culture of 7,000 years. Iran has been around for 7,000 years. It's always been a monarchy. Now, I don't even support monarchy. But for people to try to use the fact that Libya and Syria and Iraq ended up in civil war, so Iran's going to have the same thing, is the dumbest argument ever. Because look, Iranian people were supporting and were pro-IRGC when they came along. And just imagine how fucked up the whole Sharia law is, that within 46 years, they have lost 90% of their supporters. True or false, they claim their support was like 98% or something like that after the revolution. But what happened is people separate themselves. And just look around. Look around. Why do Iranians not go fight Israel? Why do Iranians don't go bomb and kill innocent people? Because Iranians are not associating themselves, and they don't like any of this that IRGC is pushing on them. That's why IRGC goes funds and train in other countries. It's simple as that. So stop, please stop going on different stages and say, oh, we don't want refugees, we don't want this. The other day someone's like, Iranians are going to come refugees in Pakistan. Look, Iranians might be racist for thinking they're better than other people, but let me be clear about something. Even if there is a war in Iran, no one's going to go try to become a refugee of Pakistan or Russia. I don't know where people come up with all these stupid things.
Thank you, Sarah.
So I just wanted to clarify that. And let you
Can you wait a second till she's finished? I'm going to land that plane. Thank you. Sarah, you land your plane?
I was going to say one sentence in Butter's response as an Iranian Zionist. There is no such a thing. Israel is not trying to take over Iran. You guys, this is the propaganda of IRGC, and these people are just going around and spreading it. Just shut the fuck up. Why are Iranians
Yeah,
not
shut
scared
the
of that?
fuck up.
That was about 15 sentences, but since you're Sarah, I let it go. But before I go to the next speaker, I have to say good morning to my man King. King 334 Mob.
Yes, sir. What's
King,
going on, brother? What's going on? Good morning.
Having a very spicy conversation on this Saturday morning. Israel versus the IRGC. So I have a question before I go to the next speaker. Yo, Sabina, what's your smoke with Sarah? Sarah's definitely, she's a lot of things, but anti-Semitic. She's, hey, I got you, bro. Show a little mic control. I want to ask Sabina a question. Sabina.
Yeah, JB, she called me anti-Semitic, so I just said the same thing back.
Oh,
Because if she can just call me that, I can just call her right.
Okay.
Because it doesn't mean anything.
Okay, so you're pulling the pigtails. Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, let me.
She's not a good representative for her own country because she's saying racist stuff. And then look, right now, Whoopi Goldberg was just saying right now, oh, America's very racist. Or sorry, black people suffer in America, right? And she was saying that about comparing herself to Iran. Let me ask you a question: why should American, black, Hispanic, all these groups of people? Why should they die for someone who clearly is racist? She literally just said we are superior to Pakistanis. I said you, ma'am. I said you. I didn't say Israel. I said
we don't even
I said
want
you.
US involved.
JB, can I talk?
Sarah, let her finish.
Okay, so first of all, yeah, I didn't mention Israel, right? There are people who are not good representations for their own country, and you're one of them because you just said that, oh, we are not going to become, I wouldn't wish civil war on any country, but for you to say that we're not going to be like those other countries because we're superior to them, you sound like a fucking idiot and racist, by the way.
I didn't say we're superior. I said we have not had Sharia laws in our country for 1,500 years. We've only had it for 40 years. If you want to hear it differently, that's for you. And that's why I call you anti-Semite, because you really are. And
based on what? Based on what?
Based on what? Based on when I was saying that how Islam is behind all of this, you told me that your friend is looking for a virgin. Do I want to marry him as a full?
I was trolling her because as soon as she found out, as soon as she said, excuse me, as soon as she, do you hate Muslims? Do you hate Muslims? Do you hate Muslims?
Your name every day, people don't.
Do you hate Muslims?
You are, and
do you hate Muslims?
Anti-Semite.
Do you hate Muslims?
Sarah, hold on a second.
No, JB, as soon as you see, look, the language vulgar, gross. This is the problem. As soon as she found out I was Muslim, she started attacking me, and then we went back and forth. But if I respond to her, she decides to say that I'm this and I'm that. She doesn't like Muslims. She looks down on Arabs, and she just asking Israelis and waiting for them to damsel in distress to come save her and cheering them on. You're just a loser and not a good representation for your country.
Well, hold on,
Racist.
everybody, hold on.
It looks like everybody enjoys my point of view, but
Afghani people deserve to be killed, right? According to you, because they're Muslim.
Sabina, hold on a second. Please respect the stage. Thank you. I'm just gonna say, listen, Sarah, you gotta let me talk, hon. Thank you. So, I've been around Sabina for a few years now. I've never heard her curse before. I'm like sitting there saying, did she just say the F word? I'm shocked. Whatever personal beefs you guys have, please take it to the chat or take it somewhere else. Hold on a second. I want to go to Masha because she's been trying to.
I prefer not to talk to me again. Thank you.
Oh, my bad, Masha. Hayden has been waiting, and then I'll come to Masha, then Cogito. Hayden, go ahead, Hayden.
No, I'm just gonna respond to that particular twisted history. If we're talking about Islam, well, Persian Empire was the first one that was actually defeated by Muslims in 632 in what is today used to be Ctesiphon, the ancient city of Ctesiphon, what is now Baghdad, right? Before it became Baghdad, that's the history, right? So Islam has been in Persia longer than it's been in Libya,
when
right?
When did I say Iranians are not Muslim? I said they didn't have Sharia law.
Don't interrupt me, please don't interrupt me. Let me finish my point here, right? So I'm not even either Muslim, Christian, or Jew, or either none of this, but the point I'm talking about here is this, right? So that's that, right? So even Islam, so if we're talking about Syria, there's no record of showing Syria being a true Muslim country since the since the Ottoman, right? After the Ottoman, basically Syria was pretty much a clusterfuck place itself. It became the French, part of France autonomous area, and then later on was taken over by a king assassinated by the Assad family, right? So let's not just rewrite history, and let's just say.
Also, do not call the Kurds Persians. We're not Persians. We Kurdish people are definitely not Persians.
Okay.
That's what she called you. Yeah, that's what she called you.
Guys. Hater, I know you hear my voice. So here's how we're gonna do it. And if somebody's speaking and somebody else comes off a mic, I'm just gonna move you down to the audience. Because now it's getting too confusion. Listen, I get it. Sarah gets really hot. Marsha, I got you. Sarah gets really hot. She stands on her square. But we need to show a little decorum so we can have the conversation. Marsha, I'm going to go to Marsha, then Kajito, then Sharif, and then Shipwrecked and Doctor. Marsha, go ahead.
Okay, so I think the discussion went in the wrong direction. So it's not about the religion. It's not about the Jews and Muslims. So when we say that we are happy that about this war between Mullah's regime and Israel, we are talking about fighting against terrorism. We are talking about this ideology that announces jihad and war against Jews and against pagans and against what other people that they can put any label or etiquette on them. So please be careful about this, first of all. So we are talking about terrorism and humanity. And the other thing, so I think Sarah didn't want to say that Iranians or Persians are superior. So that's not the fact, actually. So you should know that culturally, there are too many differences between Iranians and other nations living around them, the Arab neighbors and other countries around them. And if you don't know this difference, then you will fall to the trap of the IRGC propaganda that has been saying throughout all these 46 years that look at the future of the look at the presence of Libya, look at the presence of Iraq and Syria, and that will be your future if you look for regime change. But that's not the case. If you know the cultural difference between Iranians and other countries. So it is not about the religion or these kind of things and superiority. So don't fall to this trap, please.
Thank you, Marsha. We're going to go to Kajito. How do you say your name, Kajito?
Kagito.
Kagito, my apologies. I'm just a dummy for Brooklyn.
By the way, JV, looks like that put the links in the chat for you so you can look at those things while you're talking.
I definitely will. Hey, Butters, I'm going to tell you right now. Somebody just came into the room. He's on the stage. He's gonna bring it to you. And that's my man, El Normal. But let me go to
me and El Normal are friends.
Okay. Let me go to this gentleman. Go ahead, man. You were saying?
Yeah. So I think like there's some confusion going on, and I think like when it comes to Israel and Iran, Iran, I think like people tend to think about it in a more religious act, and I get it, like it's tied politically, but I think like before 1979, they had Israel and Iran, they were cordial. And the reason why, after the revolution, everything went to shit, and that was because Iran didn't like the way the Western world was like handling the situation, and that's because of Shah. He was kind of like pressure from the U.S. and UK into like signing oil agreements and things like that. And after the revolution, when Shah fled, everything went to shit on terms of the relations between Iran and the U.S. So Israel is now backed. Well, they've been backed by the UK and US, and Israel more so. They weren't on attack against Israel at all, right? And I believe the reason why Israel attacked Iran was due to the fact of the backing of Hamas. And when it becomes between Palestinian people and Israel, that's a whole different story. That's the battle of the land, right? And I think between those two, there was a shadow war going on, and Hamas is playing between Palestine and Iran, and this is who Israel is actually trying to target. But at the very same time, again, Iran they don't like people that is backed behind the U.S. policies or the UK. So they have that sense of hate due to that. And I don't think I don't think it is about this religious thing. But I'll leave it there.
Thank you. I know it's about land. It's always about the land, guys. We want the land. So I'm going to engage a conversation right now before I go to the next speaker. El Normo, good morning.
Hey there. Good morning to you.
So this young lady, Butters, nice PTO, by the way, has a question for Zionists. And I know that you're probably the biggest Zionist on this app. So, Butters, would you like to have the conversation with El Normo?
Oh, I've done this with El Normo before. El Normo, so basically I'm just asking, when the regime change happens in Iran, would anybody who is a Zionist be interested in expanding the Greater Israel Project in that direction?
Your question is based on two false assumptions. Number one, that regime change is inevitable, or that Israel has the power to effect it, and two, that there is such a thing as the Greater Israel Project. I'm unaware of such a thing. I think this is yet another example of a blood libel against Israel.
That route, El Normo?
Yeah, I'm not going to be long, my dear.
No, I'm just saying, why would you say that that's not true, though? They all talk about it.
Give me 1 sec. Hold your questions for the end. I won't be long. So, number two, the idea of this Greater Israel Project is a blood libel. A blood libel is a lie that is used to justify killing Jews. For example, this genocide thing that people accuse Israel of is a lie and a blood libel. Israel has neither the desire nor the plan to commit any kind of genocide. That would be a horrific thing. We invented the word. In fact, it means killing a tribe. We're not destroying the Palestinians. We're getting rid of Hamas. We're at war. They could stop the war by surrendering and giving up our hostages, which they're still holding. Similarly, Israel is not an expansionist country. In fact, when our enemies attack us and we take land, as is our right, when they attack us, we are willing to return the land in exchange for peace. And we did so with Egypt when we took the Sinai, which made Israel 1/3 bigger. That was in the 1967 war. In 1978, at Camp David with Jimmy Carter, we gave the Sinai back to Egypt in exchange for peace. We offered Syria the same thing with the Golan Heights, which we took when they attacked us from the north. So no, there is no Greater Israel Project. It is a blood libel used to call us, I don't know what, expansionist, imperialist, colonialist. We are none of those things. We are a decolonial power. Now your question, if you would like, my dear.
I mean, you already put all of the expose of the farce on display right now. Thanks.
I'm unaware of any farce. What is the farce that you refer to?
Where did the concept of the Greater Israel conversation, when did that start? Who began that? Since it doesn't exist.
Since you brought it up, I'd have to say you.
Okay, so you never heard about that through the World Zionist Congress at all?
No.
Oh, okay. Sure.
What are you referring to? Why, on the other hand, you
Is there such a thing as a World Zionist Congress now?
Hang on, ma'am. Hang on. Why don't you give us now, since you raised this in the conversation?
I already put it in the chat. You came late.
Yes.
So look at what I wrote in the chat.
I'm not late for anything. I'm here of my own free will. I'm not getting paid for this.
Right,
so
but
why
just
don't
scroll
you tell
back in the chat. I put all the information there.
Butters, my dear. Please tell us in your words, why do you bring up this Greater Israel Project, and what is your evidence? Please tell us.
Deafening silence. Deafening.
Butters, did you want to respond to that?
Actually, I already answered and told him the same thing I told you, is my info is in the chat. And if he can admit that a World Zionist Congress has existed and discussed it, then we can move forward. But I won't play with norms.
I'm not playing. This is the third time. You asked me a question. You seem to feel you're entitled to answers. I was gracious and responded. Now I ask you, what is this project?
You actually brought up something about a blood libel, which I never insinuated. And to be able to have these discussions, you actually have to be willing to be truthful about things. So thank you.
Absolutely. Please set the example now. I was truthful. Now it's your turn. What is this Greater Israel Project and what is your evidence? Go ahead.
Go to my links in the chat. Educate yourself. Thank
So
you.
you don't know. Is that fair to say? You have no idea what you're talking about?
No, everybody on stage knows but you. So I put it in the chat for you.
You don't speak for them unless they've hired you. Please tell us, what is the Greater Israel Project and what's your...
You are the only one that's asking to know. Everyone else said that they knew.
That's
Thank you.
because
No, wait, hold on, Norm. Nobody said they knew. But he's asking you a very simple question. What is the Greater Israel Project? In your words...
Don't be lazy. I put it in the chat, and
Okay.
I've already told
Okay.
JB looked at it.
She can't explain it, JP. She can't.
Oh, she can't. Hold on. I moved it down because she's disingenuous. She's intellectually dishonest. You know.
The only thing we know is that she is lying and she's probably working for the IRGC. That's what we know.
Sano, your mic is too loud, bro. It's too early in the morning. But I want to go to probably the smartest geopolitical person on this app, and that's Dr. Wise. Dr. Wise, good morning. Dr. Wise, put the sheet down. Okay, that's what I thought. Sharif, good morning, Sharif.
Good morning, brother. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fine. Sorry, I don't have a good English, but I will try to say what I want to say with the group. First thing, I'm from Egypt, and I suppose nobody here from Egypt to know or to tell the real history between of Israel. I want to call this government. They killing the people in Palestine, in Gaza, and wherever they can kill the people, they are doing. The Jewish people, I am Muslim, and I don't have a problem with the Jewish people or the Christian people. I have a problem with the Zionist people, the people who killing the people. Even they are Muslim people, I don't like. I hate who kill children, women, men, and whatever the religion, I hate it. What I want to say, what happened now in Iran or in Gaza, before was Gaza. In Iran, there is arms, there is guns, there is weapons. They can defend of them. But in Gaza, nobody defend them. So what I want to say, we have to see the truth. Even the Jewish people, if there is a Jewish people in the room now, they have to see the truth, to be a human, to see what is the reality, history. Because all of us, we are human. We have to say the truth, even we are Jewish or Muslim or Christian. There is people die for the reason of political people. They want to control, keep out of the government. They want to do that. So, what I want to say, the Jewish people, some are normal people, or there is Jewish people, normal people. There is a human people, Jewish. There is a human people, Christian. There is a human people, Muslim people.
Sharif.
Sorry for.
No, you listen. You're fine. Your English was fine. I understand everything you said. Thank you for your shit. Thank you. So, thank you. We're gonna go to Dr. Baby, then Pikachu, and then Cynic and Shepard and Bruce. Dr. Baby, good morning.
Hey y'all, what's up?
What's up? You tell me. You came to the stage. You want to say something?
Yeah, so basically, I think you know me. So I'm Kurdish. I think many people here know me already. I'm a Zionist Kurdish Nawad. We're not Persians and we're not Iranians. We don't identify as Iranians. We do not consider ourselves as Iranian. We have actually national anthem that talks about this. That says, "We're neither Arabs, neither Iranians, neither Turks." There's a reason we do not identify with these names. Is because it's our occupiers. So to come to today's world and today's war, which is, Iran war, that has been happening for 45 years, 47 to be exact.
Is she in the Matrix or it's just me?
Yeah, I can't hear her.
Baby, you're in the Matrix, Doctor. So I'm gonna have to come back to you. Good morning, Pikachu. Go ahead, Doctor. You're in the Matrix. I'm gonna come back to you, Doctor.
Can you hear me?
JB, you alright?
Yes, Doctor. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to you. Let Pikachu go because you're in the Matrix. Because you're in the Matrix. How many times I gotta repeat it? I said it 5 fucking times. Clean your ears. Pikachu, go ahead.
Sorry, but can you like not scream at me? I'm not doing anything wrong.
Please vote, Pikachu.
Thanks. JB, thanks for having me up on stage. I appreciate that. So look, I mean, I just wanted to talk about this Greater Israel myth and why it's totally fake and what's made up. I mean, this is a politically weaponized, one of the hundreds of politically weaponized narratives that we hear quite a lot. So you've probably seen that scary looking map online. I don't know, you may have seen it on there was a fake AI image that went around about this map that was on IDF soldiers, that Israel supposedly wants to expand from the Nile to the Euphrates, basically taking over Egypt, Syria, Iraq, Jordan, and much more. It sounds like a Zionist empire plan, right? So, well, look, I mean, this is complete and utter nonsense. So just going back to what Norm said earlier, that the whole program of Israel establishing a decolonized state. So, I mean, look, the phrase comes from actually Genesis 15.18, which is a spiritual covenant between God and Abraham. For Jews, it's a theological idea, not a territorial one at all. Judaism has never had a modern plan to conquer all that land. In fact, most Jewish thinkers treat it as a symbol, not as a call to kind of redraw any form of borders. Now, the biggest issue behind this myth is that in 1982, there was an article by an Israeli writer named Oded Yinon, and he speculated that breaking up hostile Arab regimes might help Israel's security. Was it government policy? Absolutely not. Was it adopted by Israel? Totally no, absolutely. It was just one man's opinion in a fringe journal. That's what came about. But anti-Israel groups ran with it, and they claimed that it was Israel's secret plan. That's how a fringe op kind of became a Zionist blueprint in the eyes of all these conspiracy theorists. So in reality, Israel's actions proved Israel, because in 1979, Israel gave back the entire Sinai Peninsula. I mean, if they really wanted to do the Greater Israel expansion plan, they would have taken that and kept it for themselves. And that is a massive area. I mean, they gave that back to Egypt for peace. That alone disproves any idea of expansionism. And also, look, if you look at Israel's walls and borders, they haven't come from religious prophecy. They've come from simply defending itself. Even through peace deals. Coming out of Gaza in 2005. I mean, that's another piece of proof. I mean, a lot of people like to disprove, Arik Sharon's plans at the time, but Zionism doesn't mean world domination, folks. It means simply just for Jews. This is just for Jews. It just simply means a safe national homeland for us. Nothing more and nothing less. So I just wanted to be clear, this Greater Israel project is not an Israeli policy, and it's no Zionist goal, and there's no real plan for it.
Sharif, mute up, man. Sharif, mute up. Thank you. So here's the deal. Where could you go? He's right there. Okay. So here's the deal. Somebody came up on stage talking about the Greater Israel project, and then when Norm pulled her card and said, explain it, she's down in the VIP section. She didn't want to engage. She wanted to gaslight, and when nobody fell for it, She ran away. But Pikachu, let me come back to you in a little bit because I have to get to the sensitive people on the app.
Yeah, go for
Right?
it.
Because they're very. Hold on, Norm. They're very entitled. So when I explain to them 5 times, I can't hear you because you're in the fucking matrix. But then you want to keep going on. Let me run my room. But Dr. Baby, good morning.
I couldn't hear you, JB, and
I just said good morning. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is good morning. Can you say good morning back?
No, I'm not sensitive. I think I fought more terrorists than you have, so let's be clear.
You probably have. You probably have. Did you want to speak on the subject?
Yeah,
or do you want to keep crying?
I have.
Okay.
So, yeah, I want to speak to the subject because there's a lot of misinformation that's coming around and going around, which actually is very sensitive time, critical time, and people need to hear this. So right now what's happening is nobody's uprising inside of Iran because nobody wants a Shah to be in the picture or Khamenei to be in the picture. So people saw some hacked television having Shah face on it, and he was saying, uprise for me, while nobody likes the Shah inside of the Iran. Neither the Persians, neither the Kurds, neither the Baluch, neither the Arabs, neither the Azeris. Nobody likes the Shah. So basically what happened was people did not uprise. Why did they not uprise? Because they saw his face and they were like, oh my God, the Western powers want to bring this piece of shit back? And everybody stopped. Nobody went to the street, neither moved a needle. The only way for anybody to move a needle in that country would to be a Kurdish uprising. And I will tell you why. Because Zinjan Azadi, Women Life Freedom, started by a Kurdish woman being killed in the Kurdish towns, burned Iran to ashes, like in a lot of areas. Even Iran had to bring Hezbollah in to keep the Kurdish areas calm. So, way that you can take down a regime without the Kurds or the minorities, and the only people who have boots on the ground are the Kurds and the Arabs and the Baluch. The Persians are all in the IRGC themselves. Unless they're gonna defect, which they're not defecting from the IRGC and saying that Shah should be back. So therefore, you have no other options but to work with the minorities, which they have an opposition, real opposition, not some fake television from Cryasphera in LA, talking about fantasy stories. People have critical time. You don't have time to talk about La La Land story from thousands of years ago, some like fake stories that they sell us online. I'm not here to buy anybody's stories. I'm here to save 2 people. Okay? 2 nations, big nations. And these 2 big nations need to be heard. And the people who are going around and speaking for the Kurdish people, speaking for the people from inside of Iran, are all grifters. You've been grifted if you have listened to anybody that talks about Shah coming back, because guess what? Nobody has the boots on the ground that is called Shah supporters. He doesn't have an army, doesn't have a command, network, or shadow government. He has 0.
Okay, Dr. Baby, Dr. Baby. Hold on, Sarah, hold on. I want to go to Masha, then Sarah, and I want to give Dr. Baby a chance to reply after they're done. Masha.
JB, can you put me in line too?
I got you. Go ahead, Masha.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, baby, you said that you don't consider yourself as an Iranian. So why are you so worried about the future of Iran? Don't be worried about that.
Yeah, when you talk about Iranians, you're talking about.
See, this is exactly why I have an issue with you, because you have this entitlement that you can just interrupt her when she didn't interrupt you.
No. I'm asking her a question because this is a conversation.
Let her finish, and then Sarah's gonna go, and I told you I'll give you a chance to rebuttal. But Emma.
Thank you, BJ. So we Iranians are there, and we'll make our country. So don't worry about it. First of all, then as my last sentence or last words here, I would say Iranians are observing the situation very carefully, and they are looking for that specific moment to come out in the streets after Israeli army could clean up the IRGC and the Basij forces from the streets, so there would be no suppression in the streets, and they will finish the job. They have this popular opposition figure who is Reza Pahlavi, the crown prince, and now people call him King Reza II, and the people will bring him in power. Not any foreign country let me make it clear to you. He's the most famous and beloved opposition figure in Iran right now. And the people will finish the work and they will make their country. If you consider yourself as an Iranian, we will welcome you. And that would be your land. And we can make it together in the future. And then if not, then no discussion between us. And that's
sure.
And thank you, BJ, for giving me the opportunity to talk.
Yeah, no, of course, you can speak all the time, but it's JB, not BJ.
JB,
Did he just call you a blowjob?
Thank you for that.
She did, but she's cute, so I don't care. Sarah, go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah, I want to quickly say something for the audience because a lot of people have no idea what this woman is talking about. So, you know how some Americans, they don't like the president, they're like, Trump is not my president, or Biden is not my president.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Hey, whoever's talking,
you cannot even compare America to Iran. You're
I'm
not
talking.
lovers.
I'm talking.
You are nothing.
Mute yourself. So you know how some Americans say Biden's not my president? James, are you going to move her or mute her?
Can we have one mic on Sarah, please? Thank you.
So you know how some Americans, they say Trump is not my president? We do have about 5 to 10% of Kurds, Baluchis. I'm going to repeat, 5 to 10% of their entire population, they don't want to be part of Iran and they want to separate. As of today, they are Iranian because Kurdistan is inside Iran. And what that 5% say, the 95% do not repeat. I have many, many Kurdish friends on this app, Iranian Kurdish friends, and they're going to come here. If you want, I can ping them in another time, and they'll come here and they're going to tell you that people like her are people who took a few blocks in Seattle, and they called it Summer of Love, remember? What she says is not true. Do not fall for this kind of bullshit. And you know what? Kurdish people, not only they're Iranian, it's just we have different ethnicities. We have Turks, we have Arabs, we have Kurds, we have different ethnicities in Iran. And all of those ethnicities, there's 5 to 10% of them who want to separate. So that's completely bullshit what this lady's saying.
Everybody, hold on. I'll pick at you. Hold on. Everybody, hold on. So, Dr. Big, I have a question for you, and I'm being serious. I'm just trying to get some clarity. You keep using the word grifter. Well, why are they grifters, in your opinion, Doctor?
Okay, so JB, unlike this lady, we have boots on the ground, and unlike this lady, she has no knowledge what's going on inside. And unlike this lady, I actually have something to lose. I don't live in America, and do not compare Shah, King to Trump. It's not even possible. You're comparing two different people. Iranians are not like Americans, nothing like them. Actually, you guys are terrorizing a whole region. America's not terrorizing anybody. So that's first point. Second point is, yes, they are grifter, JB. We actually found out that Shah has been grifting off of everybody and selling everybody a lie about us inside of the country, actually saying, oh, the Iranian people are all my supporters. He has zero supporters. Israel hacked their TV and Shah asked them to uprise and not even a needle was moved. And that's your evidence that these people are grifters, and especially this lady who has no idea what she's fucking talking about. She lives in fucking America, talking about the Middle East. You're not Iranian. You're an American today. Be proud. You have nothing to lose.
Hold on a second. Jesus Christ, ladies. It's fucking Saturday morning. Take a breath. Let me just say something real quick. Anthony, Jordan, Nye, El Normal, TC, I gotta step away for 5 minutes. Can you guys run it real quick and try to keep some decorum? Any of the mods there? TC, Norm?
I'm here.
Alright, guys. I'm gonna hand it to you guys for just a few minutes. If these ladies want to continue to pull their pigtails, be my guest. I don't care. I'll be back.
Can we ask her to speak few words in Farsi?
Yes.
I want to see if she's even Farsi. First of all, I want to make sure you're Iranian and not even Iraqi.
I will tell you. Wait. Let me I'm not gonna speak in Gaelic.
She can't speak in Farsi. She can't speak in Farsi. That is not Farsi. She has a strong accent. That's not Farsi.
Okay, one mic.
Okay, so she asked me a question, let me answer.
You couldn't speak Farsi, doctor. You can't speak Farsi.
Let me finish.
Okay. I was born in 1993. When my family left your fucking regime, that regime, it was 1975. 1975, we went to Kurdistan, Iraq.
Did you guys love
we
how I
had to flee
called
you.
this bitch out?
I don't. I don't have to. I'm Kurdish.
Sarah, let her speak. Sarah, please.
I'm Kurdish. I don't have to speak your gay language. I'm Kurdish. I have to speak.
The lady is obviously racist.
I don't have to speak.
She's insulting an entire.
I don't have to speak your language. You're nobody. I don't have to speak your language. You're my oppressor. Why should I speak your language?
You're not
your
Iranian.
gay language. I spoke to you in your own language. You couldn't even answer me.
You
couldn't
are
even answer me in Farsi
Iraqi, and
because
you hate Israel.
That's
why you're
so
supporting.
long ago.
That's why you're supporting IRGC. Shut the fuck up.
To me.
She's anti-Semitic too? Oh.
Did she call me an anti-Semite?
Yeah.
Bitch.
Hang on.
You better.
I muted
That was
the room
Sabina.
for 1
That was
second.
not me.
Hang on. This is a musical interlude. I'm going to sing to you in Farsi. Parchame falestizi bo kontu konet. All right, we'll take down the temperature. You can translate that if you want. Please go one at a time.
That's fine. You can the Palestinian flag in their asses.
Okay, do we need to start a queue? Do we need to start a queue until JB gets back? Sarah, did you want to have a comeback and after Sarah?
I'll just say 2 sentences, Nye. Thank you. I just called her out. Like, I mean, we have a lot of Iranians.
You lied.
We have a lot of.
Okay, hold on.
Can someone tell her to?
Can she not
We have a lot of Iranians.
I
We have a lot of Iranians. Oh my God.
I can speak for
Doctor,
myself.
please.
Iranians spoken for me for
Doctor,
thousands of
doctor.
years. Stop speaking for me.
Doctor, let her finish, please.
And why? If this is the same thing on the ground, they try to speak for us.
They oppress them,
I
yep.
want her to speak for me.
Okay, I
Didn't she say she was raped?
You're an occupier.
She tells me I'm not Iranian. This woman is
Okay,
not an
ladies.
Iranian.
Ladies, peace.
You're not
Hold on,
even
doctor.
in Iran. Shut up.
Okay, hold on.
And why Sarah's racist. She calls everyone anti-Semitic, and she's saying the same thing about Doctor now.
And I'm a
Okay,
Zionist.
so we should just. So how about is
Me too.
can we just move past this now? Would any other speakers like to join in? Because I don't think I
I
don't
want
think
to land. She didn't let me talk. Are you
Okay,
like
let's-
rewarding her?
No, Sarah. Let's let Sarah land. Go ahead.
Yeah, so my point of what I was saying is for the audience who don't know about Iran, and even the Iranian Kurds, we do have 5-10% that say, oh, we're not Iran, we don't want to be Iran.
Doctor,
Now, can you move her to the audience so I can talk and then bring her back?
Okay, doctor, I don't like to move people to the audience. I really don't, but I will bring
She's
you
not
back
letting
up.
me talk, and I like to get what I'm saying. Like, I
And
want to say this.
Exactly. I just want Sarah to land, doctor. No disrespect. You can come right back up. Let's just let Sarah land.
Yeah, and why they were saying really bad stuff in the chat though. They're saying Kurds are dirty and stuff like that.
All right, I'm
And I think
But I was saying,
Sarah's friend saying these things.
Okay.
Sabina, you're the one who told me.
Please don't talk to me.
You
Please
like
don't
these
talk to
things
me.
be raped by
Please don't talk to me. I didn't say that. Please don't talk to me. Thanks.
Shut up.
Okay, let's just
The comments are in the chat.
I
Just
have
let
an
Sarah
idea.
land.
Let's don't mention each other's name. Let's not trigger each other, not necessary. Let's talk about the issues. We have some people from the region, and it'd be interesting to hear what they have to say. I will give you my New York perspective. I'm not as smart as they are in these matters. Number one, we support the Iranian people. They're a beautiful, beautiful people with a great history, great art, great cinema, great music, great food. And we want them to be free and out from under the thumb of this murderous, genocidal Iranian revolutionary, quote-unquote, regime that is now in charge that has spread terror around the world. I'm going to mention just one small thing. I am familiar that the Kurdish people have long wanted a country in self-determination, and it is my personal opinion that people deserve self-determination. And
If
the Kurds
majority
have also
wants
been...
it, Norm. It's 10% of Iran.
Sorry,
If the majority
okay.
wants it.
Okay, I'm not saying one way or the other. This is for you to decide. I'm not
The
from there.
first grassroots movement of the Kurdish independence started inside of Iran, by the way.
Okay, again, this is for you guys to decide. So if this regime, IRGC genocide regime, falls, The one thing we don't want is for you to be at each other's throats. That's the worst possible thing. The best possible thing would you become a democratic and liberal society with equal rights for everybody and tolerance for each other. That's my opinion. I'll mute up.
Yeah, so what I was gonna
Please,
One mic, please, y'all.
Can I have one mic on me?
Hold up, please. Okay, Sheriff, I got you, y'all. Let Sarah land. If y'all don't let her land, this is gonna go on, and she's determined to get her point out. Let Sarah land.
Get my point out. Thank you. And
then we'll move on. Go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah. So this woman who told me that I'm not Iranian, who lived in Iran till my mid-20s, and somehow she now that I called her out that she's not Iranian, and every Iranian in this room can tell you she's not Iranian, then she says, no, I was raised in Iraq, that's why I don't have Iranian accent. She is not even Iranian. So I want people to know that. And pay attention, all these people who come in these rooms and support IRGC, people who are supporting IRGC, they are all non-Iranians. They're majority. Like 95%, 99% non-Iranian. I just want people to pay attention.
61% of the country is non-Iranians.
Okay, pause. We're gonna go to Sheriff, ladies.
Thank you, May.
Anyway, before you go, I just want to make something clear. Arabs inside of Iran are not Iranians. Baluch inside of the country are not Iranians. The Kurds are not Iranians. We're different ethnic minorities.
Hold on. Let's just let Dr. Shut up.
We're not Iranians. The Arab, how can you refer to an Arab, Ahwazi, living inside of Iran as an Iranian? They're not Iranians. Kurds are not Iranians. Baluch are not Iranians. We're not Iranians.
You are the Arab.
Listen, it's very simple. It's very simple to understand. I do not speak for people who are Persian. The Persians do not have the right to speak.
Hold on.
I will speak.
Okay, Nima, no, wait. Sheriff was waiting. We're gonna go Sheriff, and then Nima, you got it. Go ahead.
Thank you. And I want to say something. Who gives the direction? Who gives the other government can be control the decision for another countries, even the United States or Europe, or Israel or Egypt or any country? Who gives the control for the other government to control another country? Even in Iraq, in Iran, in Israel, in Palestine, in whatever, whenever. We cannot say that. We cannot say that. We are human. We cannot repeat what the political people said. We are democratic people. We call the democratic people. How we talk about the democrats, and we talk about control another government in another countries. We cannot say that. Sorry. Thanks.
Thank you. We're gonna go to Nima. If anybody would like to speak after
My
Nima.
name is Darius because it's it's alphabet is Persian. You cannot see me. I'm here a long time.
Okay. So the guy with the blue, hold on, the guy with the blue PTR, he has been waiting. I guess you want to speak first. Nima, no disrespect, he has been waiting. So we'll go with the guy with the blue PTR. Doctor, by the way, for the record in the audience, I did not move you to the audience, just for the record. So we'll go to the guy, I see you with the blue PTR, Daru, and then we'll go to Nima.
Thank you so much. Guys, I'm so sorry. I have to go. You see, guys, Iranian people, they are united. It doesn't matter you are Jewish, you are Christian, you are Muslim, Shia, whatever you are, we are united. And we love our country. It doesn't matter which religion you are. It doesn't matter which culture you have. We are Persian. This lady, I'm sorry guys, I cannot talk very fast. This lady, she's coming, I don't know. She's from Kurdish, Iraqi, she's from Syrian, Merian, Kurdish, Turkish. She's coming to this room and she said, oh, you're without Kurdish, you
cannot have a revolution. Guys, we Iranian people from Balochistan to Mazandaran, everywhere we are united. We have one flag, one nation, and we love each other. This lady, she tried to separate us. Lady, please shut up and go to hell, motherfucker. I'm so sorry if I say bad word, guys. This lady, she is not Persian. She is Arab.
Well, yes, I'm not Persian.
Okay,
I'm Kurdish.
So the next speaker, no cursing and no insulting people on the stage, please. This is what my understanding is. You have many ethnic groups in this Persian Empire or Iranian Empire, and many of these ethnic groups are speaking out on behalf of their own freedom and independence.
She's not Iranian.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's not the point. It's not the point. This is an open forum. Let's just not speak over each other or insult each other. We can have different opinions, but Americans, this is mainly an American room, no offense, although we're not very educated about your people in your country. We need to understand. I still don't know what a Baluchi person is. I'm only learning about who the Kurdish people are. So you have to, without fighting with each other, you have to educate us, and please don't insult or call names. I thought Daniel was next. Is that fair?
Hold on a second.
No, Nima's next.
Okay, sorry.
Guys, let me just do a quick room reset, and then we'll go by queue. But I definitely want to get Hope in the conversation. Hope you hang out for a little bit so you can get in. Guys, this is Healthy Debates. Israel versus the IRGC. I changed it to IRGC because it seemed to bother a few people when I said Israel versus Iran. Pseudo and anti-intellectuals welcome, and we see plenty of them on the stage today. Good morning, Caroline Rin. I see you. Mike in the house. Another Mike. AJ, good morning. Guys, you have a pink ticket. Please cash it in. Ludwig, how you doing? I know you're anti-Semitic. That's fine. That's your opinion. So I'm going to hand it back to Nye, who seems to have the cue. And let's keep this civil conversation going.
Okay, really quick. It's on Nima. Who would like to go after Nima? I'll start a queue.
I would. Well, at least that's when the queue ended.
Wait, hold on a second. Everybody, hold on a second. Nye, after whoever you just said, go to Hope after him.
Okay, so Nima, and then Hope, and then what do we say? And then
sometimes.
Okay, so this is what I have. I have Nima, Hope, Cynic, Daniel, and Shep, Rick. Cool? All right, go ahead, Nima.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, who's that? Who said that?
I am here. I'm Nima.
No. Who said, can you add me in?
This is Shamim. Thank you.
Shamim. Okay, got it. Go ahead, Nima.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Sorry for my English, because my English knowledge is not very well. I just try to say what I want to say. Maybe Sarah can help me. I am Kurdish from Iran, and I would like to say some other Kurdish, like a baby or any other Kurdish from all of the world cannot decide for me. I want to be Iranian because I am Iranian. I want to take my country back from this horrible Islamic Republic. It doesn't matter. Some person like babies say I'm Kurdish. My mother language is Kurdish. My mother language also is Kurdish, but I love Persian language also. I love یه سری جمله رو من نمیتونم. ادبیات فارسی من عاشق ادبیات
Farsi literature. He says that he loves Farsi literature, even though his language is Kurdish.
Persian culture, because they are really nice people. Why should you make a hate between us? It doesn't matter what you want. It doesn't matter when you want to have your own your country. Okay, let's do it. But I want my country, Iran. When you don't want to be part of us, it's you decide. It's not. You cannot speak for me.
Thank you, Nima. I think next in the queue is Hope. Hope, good morning, Hopi.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Fantastic. How you doing? Enjoying this beautiful weather. Enjoying this beautiful weather in New York today.
It's nice today. It's not too hot. It's much hotter on the stage than it is in New York right now. But yes, it's nice. It's not raining and it's not too hot, so I'm liking it. But I wanted to come up. I don't like talking very often on stage, but I wanted to come up because I have to agree with Nima and Sarah that Doctor is not Iranian. Even
this is what they do on the ground too, by the way. This is what they
even
every day.
Even
they silence us. They try to silence us.
Please shut up. Shut up. It's my time. Shut up. It's my time.
We're gonna take the regime whether you like it or not.
One mic on hold, please.
One mic on hold, please.
One mic on hold.
Jay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Can you guys put it down until I finish talking, please, or else I'll just go and I won't say anything.
No. Hope somebody moved already. But go ahead.
Okay, thanks. So, Kurdish Iranians consider themselves Iranians. They don't consider themselves Persians, but they consider themselves Iranians. Doctor is a separatist. She's not from Iran. She's trying to create division right now in Iran among the Kurds. Just please be careful when you're listening to these people. And when people who are Iranian on stage tell you that someone's not Iranian, believe them. That's it.
Can I ask you a friendly question? With for a friendly answer, just educate me.
Sir.
The Kurdish people want self-determination, as far as I know. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Kurdish, I mean, in Iran, they want to be Iranian. I mean, they don't want. They don't.
In Iran or not in Iran? I just meant in general, they want a country.
In general, the Kurds who are in Iran, again, I'm not Kurdish, but you just heard from a Kurdish person. Kurds who are in Iran want to be Iranian. They don't want to be something separate. Kurds who are in Iraq and in Turkey and all the other Arab countries want to be separated. Iranians have treated, before the IRGC, treated all Iranians, regardless of their religion, their race, or whatever, equally. So no, they don't want to separate. The people like Doctor want to cause this division to make everyone
Don't
think.
make it personal about her. Because,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, I came up to respond to.
That's the whole point.
I came.
That's not what I'm asking.
Norma, I came up. I only came up because I wanted to talk about what she was saying. I came up for that particular reason because she's sitting there and she's telling all the Iranians on the stage that they're not Iranian, that they're not this, that they're not that. When these people are.
Okay.
I haven't lived in Iran, so if someone tells me you're not Iranian, okay. Even though I am, but I wouldn't say that it's everything in my soul because I'm not there. But she has nothing to do with Iran.
Right.
She wants to separate.
No, let me say this to you real quick, and I say this respectfully, she likes sincerely. I know that you like that woman, but when I get 10 different Iranians telling me that she's not Iranian and she doesn't support the Iranian people, I kind of have to believe, especially somebody like Hope. Hope never comes on stages.
No, she's very credible. Hope is credible. I know this.
So before we continue with the next speaker, I want to say good morning to Rolo. Rolo, good morning. Good afternoon.
JB, I just want to.
Hold on, L. Hold on, bro.
God, no.
Rohan, how you doing?
I'm fine. Hey,
bro, you're harder to reach than Trump, man. I send you messages in IG, and I just don't get it. I wanted you in here like 2 hours ago, man.
Oh, mate, I've been busy, but I appreciate it.
How dare you have a life?
God damn it. I'm trying not to have a life and just spending more time on here like I should be. Really interesting topic. I've got somebody I'm going to try and bring in who is an incredible speaker on this topic of Iran. She's got some history with the land, and I'm going to see what I can get in contact with her and see if she graces with the presence. So I'll see what I can do here. But look, I understand there are different stories that are circulating about identities in terms of Kurdish and Iranian and so forth. I am not really clear on it. I'd love to be able to hear from a few different people on that. If the conversation goes